Welcome to the deep dive. If you blinked last week, you probably missed a huge leap forward in the AI world.
A synchronized leap, really.
Exactly. We're
Yeah.
not talking about small incremental gains anymore. This feels like a massive simultaneous surge across, well, everything. Foundational models, the infrastructure, the actual real-world deployment. The whole ecosystem is just accelerating.
It really is. It's a moment of intense concentration of resources.
Yeah.
And our mission today is to take this huge stack of sources we have and, analyze precisely where the big power centers, Google, OpenAI, Microsoft, are staking their claims.
Right.
And crucially, we're going to distill what this hyper-competition means for you, whether you're in an enterprise setting or just, like in your daily consumer life.
The scale of the news alone is staggering. I mean, you have Google announcing what many people are already calling the new state-of-the-art model, Gemini 3. And then you see Oracle and OpenAI forging a $300 billion collaboration. That number is so enormous, it's basically just a market signal at this point.
Oh, it absolutely is. That kind of figure. Plus, generative music companies raising $250 million rounds, and these new AI shopping features. It all confirms there are two primary forces driving everything.
Okay, what are they?
First, the relentless race for the smartest core intelligence, the models themselves, and second, and maybe more importantly, the pivot to what people are calling agentic applications.
That agentic shift, that's the key phrase I keep seeing. If the first wave of AI was like the smart chatbot, what exactly defines this new phase?
It's the move from answering questions to autonomous execution. We're talking about AI that's designed to observe, to reason, plan, and then execute multi-step tasks, all across different software environments without needing a human to constantly babysit it.
Okay, so let's unpack that first big push then, the model arms race. It feels like a very high-stakes direct showdown right now between Google and OpenAI, and I think we have to start with Google's big move with Gemini 3.
Exactly. So Gemini 3 is reportedly the new state-of-the-art, not just in general, but in really critical areas like advanced reasoning, complex coding, and importantly, safety benchmarks.
And I saw it described as a research agent. What does that mean?
That's what's so fascinating. It doesn't just retrieve data for you. It can apparently synthesize, experiment, and draw its own conclusions in these really complex information environments, almost autonomously. That's a huge difference.
And it's not just sitting in a lab somewhere. Google is pushing it out there fast.
Oh, absolutely. They're integrating it into Google Search in AI mode, obviously, but they're also pushing for mass adoption globally. There's a partnership with Geo, which means free access for millions in India.
And U.S. college students, right?
Right. Free access for U.S. college students through spring of 2027. They're buying mindshare, but maybe more importantly, they're buying vast amounts of training data from that usage.
So what's OpenAI's countermove?
OpenAI's strategy seems to be focused on specialization and industrial strength, particularly in software development. Our sources are highlighting some big advances in the GPT 5.1 series, especially a variant called GPT 5.1 Codex Max.
Codex Max. So this is engineered specifically for software engineering.
Explicitly for industrial-scale software engineering. They're aiming for maximum reliability and performance.
So what's the practical difference? I mean, between a super specialized model like that and just, a really good version of GPT-4 for coding?
It all comes down to scale and duration. The sources detail some key features, like demonstrating multi-day autonomy.
Meaning it can work on a task for days at a time.
Exactly, beyond a single session. It can self-correct over several days. But the more critical piece is that it handles million token workflows.
Okay, let's unpack that for a second, because million token workflow sounds incredibly technical. What does that actually mean for someone building software?
Well, think of tokens as, words or chunks of data. Previous models could handle maybe a few thousand tokens.
Yeah.
Enough for a single file, a small function.
Right.
A million tokens means the AI can absorb, process, and rewrite an entire medium-sized code base, or a huge specification document, all at once. It retains perfect context across the whole project.
So that context window limitation that everyone always complained about is gone.
It essentially eliminates it for most practical purposes. It's moving from editing, say, a paragraph to editing an entire book while holding the whole narrative in its head.
That context shift is a massive leap for enterprise developers.
And all of this demands just staggering infrastructure.
Yeah.
We're seeing Nvidia's dominance continue, of course, but look at the XAI data center plan.
The 500 megawatt one.
Yeah, a massive 500 megawatt Nvidia-powered facility. To put that in perspective, that's enough energy to power a small city, all dedicated just to AI.
It really does sound like a compute rate that's only accessible to a handful of trillion-dollar companies.
It does, but what's interesting is that this intense proprietary competition is fueling parallel breakthroughs in the open source world, specifically around efficiency.
Ah, okay.
We're seeing these massive inference efficiency gains through techniques like speculator models. These are showing 1.5 to 2.5 times speed-ups, sometimes even more.
So they make these advanced models cheaper and faster to run on smaller hardware.
Precisely. So if the big players are building these private superhighways, the open source community is figuring out how to build a highly efficient, high-speed regional rail system.
That's a perfect analogy.
Yeah, and the efficiency gains dramatically lower the barrier to entry. We're seeing notable open releases like Deep Cogito's Cogito v2.1. It gives you production-ready scaling, a huge 128K context, multilingual support.
So it's challenging the closed, expensive models.
In specific vital areas, yes. Innovation is clearly not exclusive to the labs with the biggest budgets. This efficiency race is democratizing access.
So let's move to the application layer. This is where, for me, it gets really interesting. The shift from the model battle to actual automation in business. You called it the agentic revolution. Who's leading the build-out for it?
On the infrastructure side, Microsoft is really leading the charge. They're focused on providing the operating environment.
An operating system for AI agents, I think I read?
That's the term they're using, yeah. And they're launching a command center platform. It's all designed to manage these complex tool sets and agents across large organizations.
Yeah.
They're basically providing the plumbing for autonomy.
And businesses are actually adopting this. I saw that DevonAI, one of the first big AI agents, is reporting adoption at major banks like Goldman Sachs and Citi.
Exactly. And those are institutions that define complexity and security. This isn't just, an internal IT help desk. This is for mission-critical workflows.
And it's being integrated securely, right, on-premise.
Which is vital for those sectors. Dell, for example, is augmenting its enterprise stack with an agentic AI tool called North. The whole focus there is secure, local automation that never leaves the corporate firewall.
That security focus is huge, but are there, actual measurable deployments right now?
Absolutely. Look at OutSystems Agent Workbench. It's supported by Microsoft, and it's being used by over 5,500 enterprise AI agents as we speak.
Wow.
With clients like Axos Bank. So this proves the transition is massive, it's fast, and it's measurable. These agents are automating everything from risk assessment to customer onboarding.
So it's like the complexity of the task just doesn't matter anymore. The agent just handles the steps.
That is the ultimate goal, yes. Simplification of complexity.
Yeah.
And we're seeing the developer tools pop up to enable this. LlamaIndex released LlamaAgents, for example, to make it easier to build agents that interact with huge libraries of internal documents.
And I saw that tools like Jules are using Gemini 3's power to unlock more advanced parallel tasking.
Right, which means developers can now build internal pipelines that create synthetic data sets from their own proprietary data. That dramatically lowers the cost and effort for internal training.
So connecting this back to you, the listener, this is the big shift. AI agents are moving from answering your questions to actually doing tasks inside existing business infrastructure.
It's automating procurement, processing complex insurance claims, managing long-term coding projects, all in a secure, governed way. And that governance is key, because they're operating right inside your Outlook and Teams.
Okay, let's shift gears. Let's look at the immediate impact on your daily life. From how you shop to the music you listen to, how is this affecting the consumer and creator economies?
The retail transformation is probably the most immediate thing you'll notice. Target is partnering with ChatGPT for in-app shopping.
So you can just talk to the app to find and buy things.
Pretty much, through sophisticated voice and text. But that partnership goes deeper. They're also equipping their 18,000 employees internally with AI tools for logistics and store operations.
A huge internal change. But what about the direct impact on us, the consumers? Are people actually buying more because of this?
Well, the most telling data point comes from Amazon. Their latest AI-driven features, like personalized search and intelligent recommendations, have led to a staggering 60% boost in conversion rates.
Wait, 60%?
60%
Yeah.
among users who engage with those features.
That is an unbelievable financial incentive. What does that 60% boost actually look like on my screen? Is it just better search or something more?
It's true. Personalization backed by agentic reasoning. It means the AI is building a unique shopping environment just for you, based on your past behavior, real-time context.
So it's not just, here are products related to your search.
No, it's more like, based on your kitchen size, your cooking habits, and your budget, here are 3 highly rated mixers, and by the way, here's a review summary tailored to the features you seem to care about. That level of relevance is what drives the conversion up.
It really feels like a highly specialized personal shopper.
Yeah.
And what about the creative economy? The music industry seems to be reorganizing around these generative tools as well.
For sure. Suno raising $250 million shows you the investment appetite. But crucially, we're seeing ethical frameworks pop up just as fast as the tech.
Like the Udio deal.
Exactly. Udio's licensing deal with Universal Music Group is a landmark. It lets fans generate and remix tracks, but under clear rules that guarantee the original artists get compensated.
That shift from just generating things to ethically licensed creation feels critical.
It absolutely is. And you see the same thing with Warner Music Group and Stability AI partnering to develop responsible, artist-friendly tools. The industry gets that these tools have to build, not destroy, the existing value chain.
And beyond the digital world, what about physical applications?
Robotics is delivering production-level results. In the home, Sunday Robotics unveiled Memo after a lot of in-home testing. But in the industrial world, BMW reported its F.02 robots have completed more than 90,000 part loads.
On 30,000 cars.
Right. This isn't a lab experiment. This is high-volume manufacturing, showing real trust in these AI-driven physical tasks.
And we're seeing similar leaps in computer vision, too, right, with Meta?
Yes, Meta's work is eye-opening. SAM3 is here for robust object detection and tracking in images and video. But the real breakthrough is SAM3D.
What does that do?
It can take a single, ordinary 2D picture and reconstruct it into a high-quality, fully navigable 3D model.
Of objects, people.
Both. Imagine the implications for gaming, VR, or virtual shopping.
So, if we connect all of this, the 60% conversion boost, the million-token workflows, these incredible technical achievements, to the bigger picture, it seems like this rapid expansion is also shadowed by some pretty significant warnings.
That's where we really need to spend some time. The speed is creating a lot of economic and ethical pressure. We have to talk about the LLM bubble caution.
This is from the CEO of Hugging Face, right?
Yeah, Trem DeLang. He warns pretty forcefully that the market hype is drastically outpacing sustainable, repeatable progress.
So what's the implication of that? Is he predicting a crash?
He's predicting a sharp correction. He suggests the current model of these huge, high-cost, generalist LLMs isn't economically viable for every single company. And that we'll soon see a pivot toward smaller, more specialized AI that's more cost-efficient and practical. That shift from biggest is best to most specialized is best is the market correction he's forecasting.
And he's not alone in that worry. I mean, the executives building this tech are also voicing caution.
Exactly. Even leaders like Google's Sundar Pichai are warning of irrational exuberance. It echoes the anxieties of, the dot-com bubble. There's a gap between the incredible technical capability we've been talking about and the reality of deploying it profitably across the entire market.
And beyond the market structure, what about the workforce? We're automating entire workflows with these agents. What stands out there about the human cost?
The most sobering finding, really, is about equitable impact. Studies are showing that women are twice as likely as men to lose their jobs to AI-driven automation.
Twice as likely. Why is that discrepancy so stark?
Well, it links back to the nature of the jobs that are most vulnerable to this first wave of automation. Roles like data entry, administrative support, specialized processing, roles that have traditionally had higher female representation.
So it underscores the urgency to close that tech gender gap.
Urgently, and ensure equitable reskilling. If we don't address the structural nature of this risk now, this automation wave could make existing economic inequalities even worse.
And finally, there are the critical safety and ethics issues. What's the risk for us as consumers?
We have to acknowledge the reliability problem. The Consumer Watchdog, which published a report that's, it's deeply concerning. It found that despite their advanced reasoning, chatbots like ChatGPT and Gemini often give misleading or even risky advice.
Especially on sensitive topics.
Exactly. Medicine, finance, mental health. The confidence of the answer often has no relation to its accuracy.
And on the security front, are these powerful tools already being weaponized?
They are. We're seeing immediate use by sophisticated actors. There was a cited case of Chinese state hackers exploiting Anthropic's Claude to help orchestrate cyber attacks.
How are they using it?
For things like advanced reconnaissance, refining social engineering attacks, maybe even debugging their own malware. They're turning sophisticated AI into a force multiplier for offensive cyber operations.
So, what does this all mean? When we put the amazing progress of Gemini 3 and GPT 5.1 alongside the huge infrastructure build-out and these really serious ethical and security debates.
Well, the key takeaway for you, the learner, is that this AI race isn't just about who could build the biggest, most expensive model anymore. The focus has decisively shifted.
To what?
It's now about who can safely, securely, and profitably integrate the most effective agents, those autonomous workflow executors, into the existing enterprise and consumer worlds. Power is shifting to deployment at scale, under governance.
I think the single most surprising fact, the one that grounds all of this in immediate financial reality, is that 60% boost in conversion rates from Amazon. That just instantly proves these systems aren't a novelty. They are a necessary, revenue-driving, competitive tool.
And this raises a really important question for everyone tracking the industry. Given the MIT study that shows most users still rely on closed, high-cost models, despite good open-source options, and these serious warnings of an LLM bubble, will the next big breakthrough be in another massive, expensive frontier model? Or will it be the specialized, secure, and regulated agent that finally proves cost-effective and perfectly tailored to an organization's specific needs, running securely on-premise? The future might just be smaller, smarter, and a lot closer to home.